The Vera Tommy Show. The Vera Tommy Show. The Vera Tommy Show. The Vera Tommy Show. Let's talk about it. 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 On the Vera Time Show. Let's talk about it. Yeah.
Hello, hello, hello. I am so excited today because my guest, she is an iconic young woman who is doing some awesome things in our community. She is a woman on a mission. Crystal Smith, how are you today?
I am so wonderful, and I can't thank you enough for inviting me on the show. It is really a blessing to be here. Thank you.
Well, it is a blessing to have you here because you are one of Canton's favorites. You are one of Canton's
Oh,
most needed person in our community because you're doing
oh,
so
thank
much.
you.
You work with
Yeah.
youth, you work with women, you are so creative, and we're going to be talking about some of your creativity in a minute. But before I go any further, let me just share a little bit about Crystal Smith. She is a dedicated leader, entrepreneur, and advocate for women's empowerment. With over 10 years in childcare and a strong background in coaching, she provides home care training, professional templates, and an ebook, which we're going to share as well, to guide and uplift others to achieve their greatest potential while also nurturing the structuring of new home care businesses and boss development. She is the founder of Sitco, supporting youth and individuals with developmental disabilities. And she also serves as a city councilwoman. And so I'm just honored to have you here. And what I'm going to do,
Oh,
I'm going
thank
to give you the
you.
floor. And if you would just take a few minutes to share with our audience a little bit more about you. What was your childhood like? And how did it impact you and drive you to have the purpose, the passion, and the mission that you now are living today?
Oh my goodness. Well, I was raised in Canton, born and raised, and I grew up on the southwest side of Canton. For those of us who are from Canton, the Altman Hospital area, and I went to Cedar Elementary School at a time when there weren't really many blacks in the area. That's not the case today, but that certainly was the case when I was growing up. And the school I went to, there wasn't there wasn't very many black children that attended that school either. So I did experience a lot of discrimination, not only from the children, but also from many of the teachers, and their job was to care for me, but that wasn't always the case. So I think that that those earlier stages in my life really brought out some, I would say, imposter syndrome earlier on. But my mother and father, uh, my mother lost her mother young, right? And so, and my mother's also from the Canton area, and that had a traumatic effect on her childhood with herself and her siblings. And my father, he moved here from Alabama when he was 6 years old, and he was born and raised on a farm. So they, I come from two people who are very hard workers, so they instilled the idea of hard work in me earlier on. So, my dad was raised on a farm. My mother was a welder. And I just think that I developed a strong work ethic earlier on in life. And I think that's really started the foundation of, of who I will later become. Um, and then my great grandmother is who started taking care of my mother once her mom passed, and so she lived with us. Yeah, so she lived with us, growing up. And as she started to get, become elderly, and she couldn't work or, doing, care for herself anymore, and my parents would work, we being myself and my siblings, that was our responsibility, along with just regular chores around the house. We had to make sure that my grandmother was fed. And I mean, you don't want to have to deal with my mother, so you make sure you better make her a good meal, and make sure she's bathed and dressed. And once I started driving, I made sure she got where she had to go. So I think that really started the foundation for me getting into the care industry, because I do come from a long line of caregivers, but I also come from a long line of business owners as well. So
That
yeah.
yeah, that is quite a story, and the fact that nurturing was ingrained in you from
It
an
was.
early
Yes,
age. That is beautiful. And your
absolutely.
mom, as a welder, she had a non-traditional profession.
She did. She definitely did. Yes.
And
And
with your
she's
dad,
still a
oh,
hard
go
worker.
ahead. She's still
My
a hard
dad was,
worker.
she's still a hard worker. Yeah, I would say she is retired, but it's just rooted in my mother to do something, whether it's around the house or around the yard or tend to her garden. But yeah, my dad was a foreman at a warehouse, so he usually was managing like a like a warehouse, a warehouse job. And and I learned earlier on from him, because we would have conversations about business. That was his dream, to have a business. So it was those conversations that we had many, many times of, oh, I think Ken needs this, or especially a Popeye's chicken. Like, I mean, I think we had that conversation more than anything. Like, if I would put a Popeye's chicken here or there. So, it really started that foundation for me to step into that business role eventually, because he really opened my mind to the idea that you can start a business from anything. You can turn a business into anything. But I learned later on that, it's really great when you can turn your passion and purpose
Yes.
and to
Yes.
profit. So I really think that's really become my mission, is, turn your purpose into profit, because, there's so many families out here, and, they're struggling, and they don't realize that if you just, you know, dig deep within yourself, and use what you were meant to do anyway, use God's gifts, your God-given talents, you
Yes.
could make a profit, and you can create some generational wealth for not only yourself, but anyone attached to you. And I think, it's movements like that will really change communities.
Absolutely. And you know what? That mindset is what needs to be the mindset of our youth here. It needs to be the
Absolutely.
mindset of so many people. I used to drive Uber and Lyft when I lived in Lexington and also in Georgia. And when I would come visit here, I would also drive, you know. And one of the questions that I always ask when people got in my car, are you living your dream, pursuing your dream, or doing a combination? And
Right.
Crystal, it was so disheartening for me to ask that
Yeah.
question here in Canton, Akron, and Cleveland and get, oh, I'm not doing any of that.
Right.
So
I
heartbreaking
get
because
right.
people are saying, well, I'm just trying to survive. And
Right.
so
For
being
sure.
able to help people understand the greatness within them, the passion and the purpose that was put instilled in them from before they were born
Before they were
and
ever born. Before they
before
were
they were
born.
ever born. And and
That's so
and
true.
your path, the parents that you had drove you to move into all of the arenas that you are in. And we're going to talk about those arenas that you are
Right.
in. Now, your dad was a farmer. So, and was
But
that a
he
part
was
of your growing up as well?
so he moved, he was raised on a farm and then his family moved north. So, for better work and better opportunities. So he was a foreman, like he was the supervisor of a warehouse. So that's what he did
Okay.
once he, got older, and that's how he cared for us. But I actually I played basketball in high school, and I worked at McDonald's my whole entire high school career. But I took office technology in high school as well, and I really, where they're teaching you to become an executive secretary, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that really, um, wow, I learned so much in that class because a lot of people don't realize, but I don't have a degree. Um, but it was those earlier teachings and that class. I really credit that class. I also ended up competing in something called Business Professionals of America for 2 years. So you're really competing in different areas of business operations. So again, shaping and molding me into the person I am without really understanding that. Now, after high school, I did move to California to get into journalism, and oh goodness, many opportunities there. I worked at the Oakland Film Commission. I worked on sets. I created documentaries. But I had a family. I moved back here, and I kind of put my dreams on hold. But I'm learning that things really come around full circle for you after
Yes.
after you just let it, just keep on going, and you'll find that things come back around. So now I get to create podcasts and content. So I still get to pursue my love for media, but I get to do it at home most of the time.
Yes.
I created this wall. We were talking about that earlier. But
Yes.
I really, yeah, I have a lot of passions.
Yes, and we're going to talk about those passions one by one. And the first one, this creativity of yours. Now, let me say to our audience, Crystal created her background. Normally, you will see people with a background, and it's usually a green screen background kind of thing that they put on their
Right, right.
platforms, but not so with Crystal. This
No,
background is real.
it
So
is. It
I'd
is
like for you to
real.
share how you created that because it's absolutely beautiful.
Well, I mean, my parents taught me to work with what you have. So I really just went around the house and around like my office and just found things like, oh, you know what, that looks like it'll work. Now, obviously, I got the Care to CEO sign, which is that's the name of my podcast. But I really just went around and I found things and I just started positioning it behind me, So and it
Wow.
ended up turning out to be
It's
pretty
beautiful.
nice.
It
I
is
just like it. I'm not
absolutely
gonna.
beautiful. It
Now, by the time you see it
is.
again, I'm
It
gonna
might be
add to
something.
it. I'm just gonna be It's gonna. I'm gonna add. I think I'm gonna keep adding. Like I think it needs some green, so I'm gonna add some green somewhere. But I'm probably gonna go around the house and find something, a plant. I don't know, something.
That's beautiful. We've got a comment coming in. Let's see. Shirley Witherspoon. Oh, thank you, Shirley. She says, "Hi, Vera. I just tuned in. Not sure if you know Crystal and Deacon Dillers. I thought so. Remember, I told you that there was a Dillard
Oh
that
my
belonged to
gosh!
my dad's church. Oh
Oh
my
my
goodness. So
goodness! So
Deacon
you
Dillers,
said your dad's church?
yes, Zion Baptist Church is no longer
Okay.
existing. But I
Okay.
remember
Okay.
Deacon Dillard. Shirley, thank you so much because I
Wow.
did
Thank
mention that
you.
to her.
I
That is
wow.
amazing. Deacon
Wow.
Dillard.
I had no idea. It's
Oh
such a
my
small world.
goodness. So your dad is his son.
Yes. Yes.
Oh
Yep.
wow. Oh
Yes, he
wow.
was
Okay.
amazing.
That is
My
amazing.
grandfather, my grandfather was wonderful. Oh my goodness.
He was. I knew him. He was an humble man, really
Yes, he
sweet man,
was.
quiet man. He was a quiet man.
Yes,
He
for
didn't
sure.
speak much,
I know.
but he was
He
and you
didn't.
may get that quietness from him. You think?
I think I do. I think I do for sure. Quiet but
Yes.
mighty. That's what I said. We're quiet,
Yes.
but we're mighty.
Yes, exactly. And she also said that she did your sister's baby shower. Shirley
Oh my goodness.
Witherspoon. Yes.
Wow.
And
Oh
she
my
said,
goodness.
yes, he was.
Okay.
Crystal, tell people to join in.
Wow.
Tell people to join.
Join in.
Please
Join in.
share. Thank you so much
Okay.
for being here. I appreciate it. Shirley was my baby sister's best friend. They were very,
Oh
very
wow.
close. Yes, very
Nice.
close. And okay, that's wonderful. Okay, now I felt that connection, but I wasn't sure
You
because I
did say
asked you
that.
before,
You
before the show
did.
started. And she just
Yep. You
confirmed
did say
Deacon
that.
Dillard. I'll never forget him. He was just a really just humble. That's the word I
He
have for
was.
him. Very humble.
He was.
And just a really
For
sweet
sure.
person. Wow. Okay.
I didn't
All
see that
right.
coming.
I didn't either. Okay, that's awesome. All right. So, back to your purpose and your passions and all the things that you are doing. And I'm going to pull up a couple things and we'll talk about them. I know
Okay.
that you have an organization called Sitco, and we have pictures of some of your kids. I thought I had pulled up your logo. I'll get it. But anyway,
Okay.
let's
No
look
problem.
at tell me about
Mhm.
Sitco and also what it stands for.
Stark Youth Technology Center Company. So, and that is my business. I formed during COVID because previously, prior to that business, I had a childcare center for 10 years, and that's how I paid the bills. That was what I did. And COVID really changed that when my parents, they weren't going back to work, and they were getting on unemployment. So I just pivoted into caring for individuals with developmental disabilities and older foster care children.
Oh,
And now
wow.
building from that the aging population and the veteran population. So
Oh, wow. And
that's essentially what we do.
let me ask you, Crystal, where does, well, I know your passion for the elderly is a result of you having to care for your great grandmother.
Yes, my great grandmother.
And okay, and where did the developmental drive come
This
from? Wanting to work with developmental, um,
well,
disabled.
I became exposed to that uh, population really through friends. And because there's a lot of people in our community that do this work, and
Mhm,
who are agency
yes.
owners. I mean, I don't want to put them out there, but I mean, I know one that wouldn't mind. Cecily, Cecily Ruffin,
Yes.
has
Yes.
was definitely uh, been a
Yes.
mentor to me. So
And she's
we had
amazing. And
she is. And we became friends when I was still doing childcare, years back. And so she really started exposing me, to that arena. And then, eventually I pivoted into it. But certainly I thank God that many times when I started in this field, I'd call Cecily and she'd answer the phone. I mean, if you know Cecily, she travels. So
yes, she does.
there's times she wasn't even in this country and she picked up the phone. So she knows that I'm grateful for that.
Yes.
Dr. Audra was my mentor as well. Recently, I learned a great deal from her, especially helping me to establish systems for my business that I still use. So she introduced me to Access Care. So that's something that we use to for note taking and for the staff to have the ability to clock in and take their notes and just keep records of things. So I appreciate that from
And you
her as
know
well.
what? You are a perfect example of not a college degree does not determine who you are or what you can do.
Yeah, yes.
You have had the favor of God all around you. He has
Yeah,
brought you into arenas and have put mentors and people in
absolutely.
your path to move you to where you are today. So,
And that's really what has. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead, go
I
ahead.
was saying that's really what has started to drive me, because there was a time, like I said, where I thought of myself as an underdog. And living in the society we live in, you're taught that, well, if you don't have these tools, if you don't have a degree, if you don't have these things, that you can't be successful. So there was a time where I bought into that. um, but thank goodness I kept moving regardless. And
Yes.
I kept pursuing my business goals. I didn't have earlier on in my earlier struggles as a single mother, and just uh, the earlier days while I was trying to establish myself. I didn't have the things I needed, but I didn't let it stop me. I worked as a CNA for many years. I worked all over Stark County as a CNA, and that's why the name, I have the name of my podcast as Care to CEO, because there's so many healthcare workers out there that you have the blueprint. While I was in those nursing homes, I learned that I'd look around and
Yes.
I think I could do this. I
Yes.
can do this, and I can do it right, and I can do it as a member of the community who actually understands the disparities of many of the individuals we serve, because I myself
Yes.
come from the disparaged community. So that's why I started the book, Seven Figure Home Care, so that I can show people that you have what it takes. You already have it. It's in you. Especially if you're a care worker, you're a home care worker or a healthcare worker.
Yes. Tell us more about the book.
The book is like a combination of, I would say, my bio, information based on the in the healthcare industry, and a workbook, so that you can help. It can help you actually plan the business, side of things if you're interested in starting your own home care business. So you can journal and document as you're learning the steps to become a home care owner.
One thing's for sure, there are a lot of home care owners
Yes,
in this
yes, there are.
community. I was I
Absolutely.
mean, I was amazed at how many home care owners are in this community.
There
And
are
many
so
of
many,
them, there are,
and
and many of them are people of color, which is
they
beautiful.
are, because it really is an opportunity for the playing field to be leveled. I think that's why so many of us are
Yes.
getting into this industry, because we are uh, often, when it comes to us, healthcare and home care caregiving is rooted in us. We it's
Yes.
natural. So
Yes.
why not do this for a living?
Absolutely.
And
And you starting as a CNA, that was like a training ground for
absolutely,
you
for sure.
because you learned the ins and outs of all of
I
this
sure did.
business. And see,
I sure
if
did.
you had stayed in California, this would not
I
have
know.
happened.
I know. That's for sure. I learned you're overlooked, you're underpaid. I remember being mistreated, and I remember thinking, you know what, I'm gonna eventually get into this field, and I'm gonna do it right. Now, am
Yes.
I saying that things have been perfect? No, because certainly the public loves to attack you, in this field. But, I've said it before, so many people, they don't want to do the work. You don't want to do the work. You don't want to, these individuals, I get calls constantly. Uh, I got a call just literally probably an hour before we got on today,
Mhm.
from an individual needing care. Now, this is an individual who has to advocate for themselves because they need care. And,
Mhm.
so I started, working to find this person something. But like I said, my phone is ringing constantly. My emails are flooded with people who need care. So I
Wow.
don't know why it's so criticized. I don't know why it's such a criticized field. You know, um, these people they need help. So
Yes.
I'm glad
Now,
that there's so many of us willing to step up.
yes, there are a lot. There are. And see, Cecily, she stands apart. She really
Mhm.
does. Cecily,
Yeah,
um, she stands apart. And I mean, she goes
yeah,
beyond the call of duty
for
to
sure.
get
Yeah,
people where they need to be.
she
Even in
does.
hiring, because
She
I
does.
worked for the Urban League, and I had a couple of clients that wanted to be in that industry, but they had their own issues. But that company, they came
Yes.
and picked them
But
up from the Urban
she
League.
doesn't just turn her back on people like
Mm-mm,
I
she does
believe.
not. And I
So,
know you are the same way. I know you are the same way.
well, I
And
most certainly try. And
yes.
we've both talked about how we've been burnt, with the fact that we love helping people, but it's not going to stop either one of us
Mm-mm.
from doing what we're called to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull up some of these pictures that demonstrate what you are called to do. These are some of the youth that you're working with. And to protect their identity, we did cover their faces
Right.
because we
Yes.
did not have permission to show them online like this. But this
Right.
gives you an idea of the work that she's doing. Now,
Yes. This
you are
was a
working.
oh, I'm sorry. I was just going
No,
to
go ahead.
describe what we were doing.
Oh, this
We were
one.
having a Valentine's Day party at the office for the individuals. So that was a really fun day, and
Oh,
we created that wall. Um, so we had a backdrop. We created our
that's
own backdrop. But yeah,
beautiful. Now, are all of your clients disabled in one way or the other?
uh, most have some sort of disability, but no, not everyone does. I mean, now there's just such a need that I could get a call for just anybody. I mean, from very young to elderly, and anywhere in between. So no, that's not typically the case. And sometimes it could just be mental health. They could be maybe, and I don't want to say just, but it could be maybe they're suffering with mental health.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? More so. So there's like a physical disability.
Mm-hmm.
I just it's all sorts. Um, Sometimes I could get calls for runaways. Um, yeah. I mean, I really had to
Wow.
broaden what I do because the need is so great.
It
So yeah, I could
is.
get youth that they haven't seen in quite a while, and then they turn up and they need somewhere for them to go. So
Wow. So let me ask you, do you have a facility where you house people as well as you do home care as well? Or
so
explain to me.
I have multiple homes, and I just have we have teams in place for really every aspect of what we do. So if I'm getting a call for a teenager that's been missing a while, and a lot of times these calls come in the middle of the night. I have to tell you that's typically how this goes. Because even if someone's being removed, or just a lot of issues happen at night. So they'll call me, and I'll find someone in my team who's willing to take them in until
Wow.
they find either it could be a foster home, it could be uh, maybe another facility or something of that nature. But our job is just make sure they're safe until we find somewhere for them to go, and that's more on the foster care side. But as far as working with the Department of Developmental Disabilities, uh, I since I've been doing this for a while, I've developed relationships with different caseworkers and just people. So sometimes it's at this point it's calls and emails. Can you take
Wow.
this individual? We need somewhere for them to go emergent on an emergency basis. So we definitely have to make sure that we are able to provide respite, because usually when there's a need, it's pretty immediate and they need
Yes.
someone now. We've had to go pick people up from the police station. So yeah. So sometimes, yeah, I'm
Wow.
working late, just
Wow. And
trying to
that's just
place.
one of the things that you're doing on top of all of
Yeah,
that. That's just
yeah,
one. And so
it is.
you now this is the disability piece, but then you also have foster children.
Yes, yes.
Tell
We
us about
also
that.
basically we provide respite for foster children. And in most cases, if I'm getting a call, it's often for respite, which is an emergency care. And sometimes it can become a long-term situation. It can become a permanent situation depending, on the situation. But that's essentially what we do. When they call, they need somewhere for them to go. And so I make sure that I have homes that are already furnished, that already have anything someone would need, especially in an emergency, because in most cases they don't have anything. So if they call me because they found a teenager, uh, 9 times out of 10, that teenager doesn't have any clothes. They don't have anything. So I need to make
Mhm.
sure that there's a bed, there's a room that is fit for a teenager. Um, TV, things that make them feel comfortable
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that's
Oh, my
what we do.
God.
That's what my team does on a regular basis. My sister often steps in to she's picked children up from the police station in the middle of the night. I mean, like we just do what we
Wow.
need to do.
That
Yeah.
is
So
just,
and my
you,
business is very family. Yeah, so it's very family that, and I don't think I mentioned that earlier that I established this during COVID, and it was initially just me and my husband and my daughter, um, and who is now her husband. But then my sister has come to work with me, and she had they've helped me do all of this, so I definitely can't
oh,
take all the credit.
wow. Oh, wow. That's amazing. Now, we've talked about two different things that you do. One, you are foster care, respite and or possibly not respite, but just having them. Then you deal with
For sure.
with disabilities. And on top of
Mm-hmm.
that, on top of all that, you are a councilwoman. How do you do
Yes,
everything that you do?
I don't, I don't know. I don't know, but I figure it out. I try to just make time for everything.
And
So
how long
yeah,
have you been a councilwoman?
it will be 2 years in January, and
Okay.
it's not so. I'm very thankful for Thomas West for really mentoring me into the world of politics and exposing me to it. Um, and seeing something in me that I didn't see. He when he advised me or suggested, I'll say, that I run. I think we laugh about this now, but I said, "What do you mean, me?" And he said, "You're a leader. You're a leader." Now, a lot of people don't know that about you, but I know that about you,
And
and
you know, wow,
and I
wow,
didn't think so, but. But yeah, he was right. I'm grateful that he came to me to tell me that, and then say, now go get on the ballot and get
wow.
it done. And I did.
Yeah,
And that's
and I work with Thomas. He's our the president of the Urban League, and I can honestly say
Mhm.
that is his MO. He
That it
sees
is. It
things in
is.
people that they don't see in themselves.
For sure. That is absolutely true. I could not I mean, I just like when he first said that to me, I was like, what is are you this a joke? But 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 he's right. I mean, I do have a lot of views and I do have a lot of beliefs, and just because I didn't see myself using it on a political platform initially, he did, and he's right. And now I'm a politician, and that's, I mean, even if isn't necessarily as a councilwoman, I'm a politician. So
And
that
what
part of
does
me
that
is here. No
mean?
one
What
can
does
take
that
that.
mean to you? Being a
That means
politician, what
that
does that mean?
I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to help those in need. I'm going to serve my community, in whatever aspect that I'm needed. So I don't
Beautiful.
necessarily have to, yeah, be have a certain title to do that.
Yes.
It's your
That's
responsibility.
yes. That is beautiful. And as a councilwoman, what would you say has been your greatest attribute contribution?
I
And I know
think,
we didn't talk about this, but I'm just that question just happened to
well,
pop up.
yeah. Well, I think just the fact that yeah, I'm a black woman as a city councilwoman at large,
At
and
large. Awesome.
right, and the fact that even how it happened, I've had so many people, because it was quick and people didn't expect that. They didn't expect that I was going to run. we didn't expect, I'm sure, and a lot of people didn't expect that I would win. And I think it really was an eye opener to the community, especially marginalized communities, people of color, to just say, wow, you know, I didn't even think someone could do that. You know what I mean? And so I'm very happy that I was able to provide that and be that representation to the community.
Yes. And now when she says councilwoman at large, that
Yes.
is overriding
Yeah, it's a
being in
city.
a
Yes, it's
precinct.
citywide. I
It's
represent the interests.
citywide.
Hmm.
That
Yes, I represent
beautiful.
the interests of the entire city, and there are three of us. Yes.
That's
As a,
beautiful. What would you
hmm
say has been one of your major challenges as a black woman in that position and doing the work that you do?
uh, since since I'm a at large member and I'm a black woman, I think sometimes uh, people try to pull you into their agendas, and then I'm speaking even to just uh, residents sometimes, where people think that you should feel the way they feel just simply because I'm a woman of color, and I have my own mind like anybody else. So I've
Mhm.
had to kind of stand on that and let people
Mhm.
know that I have my own mind, I have my own thoughts, um, and I do represent the interests of the entire city. So uh, sometimes people just expect you to just be concerned with one thing or the other, or one side of town versus the other. And I really had to let people know that that's not what I'm here to do.
Absolutely. I'm going to pull up this up since we're talking about politics. Let me pull up our dear friend
um,
here. Yes, tell
yes.
me about you and your relationship with Amelia Sykes.
So I really appreciate that she has, since I started, been very encouraging to me, very open, that she never leaves me out of the conversation. If I want to be a part of it, she always offers a seat at the table for me. And being that I don't come from a political background initially, just having someone like her, uh, and even though we're in two different realms of politics, still, she represents the community very well, um, and I appreciate her for that. But I just appreciate that she's always been so encouraging to me. When she sees me, the first thing she says is, "Councilwoman," and I'm like, "Hey," So I think she's amazing, and I've learned a lot from her, even at a distance. And I'm just I'm very very proud of her, and
Yes.
thankful at the same time.
Yes, that's awesome. I'm very proud of you and her. I'm very proud. I'm proud to say that I know you and that you are doing the work that God has put you on earth to do. And just amazing. Now, I want to kind of pull up your
Mhm.
family too, so that so people
Okay,
know, you've
sure,
got.
sure.
But before I pull them up, let me pull you up. Check this out. She was in the fashion show at the African American Festival, and the outfit she had on was absolutely gorgeous. Yellow looks good on you.
Thank you, thank you. And
And
I mean,
then
and I want to say
go
that was a
ahead.
result. I wasn't going to wear that outfit. I was going to wear, I had a dress that matched my husband's outfit, but the zipper broke as we were walking out the door.
Oh my
So I had to
goodness.
come up with that. Yes. So
It was
I
meant for
was
you to
really,
wear this.
it was. My husband had to
Wow.
help get me ready.
Oh, and
I was like, oh
I
my
don't have
God.
a. And how long have you been married, Crystal?
8 years.
8 years.
Hmm.
And I know that you guys work close together.
We do.
He
Yes, we
he's a
do.
part he's a part of the things that you're doing and your business
Yes,
as well.
absolutely.
That's beautiful.
Yes,
What
absolutely.
would you say to couples, and even like in terms of meeting your person or making sure that this person is in line with you? What kinds of
Okay.
encouragement, or advice would you give young people who may, or even older people who are exploring relationships and things of that nature?
Well, I respect is such a big thing. I mean, I know past, present, future. No matter what, respect is a huge thing. And
Yes.
my husband has always been very respectful of me and encouraging, and he always has my back. Um, and and I'll say, because someone like me, I'm a wife that I'm pretty spontaneous in terms of my business ventures. So when I decide that I want to do something new, I probably already started. I'm probably already halfway there sometimes by the time I've even approached him with it. And he's like, oh my goodness, now what? Like, for instance, when I decided to become, yeah, like when I got on the ballot for politics, because really my husband is the one that's far more into politics than me. He's the one that keeps me really in the loop. Thank goodness. And so we laughed about it because we were like, he's like, so now you're gonna go into politics. I was like, I know. Isn't that something? We had a chuckle about it because yeah, he's actually, they don't really know that about him. He's pretty quiet guy, uh but like I said, he's always like supportive of whatever shenanigans I got going on. It's like, okay, so this is what I think I'm gonna do. And during
That's
COVID, when I
beautiful.
came to him, yeah, so the bottom line is, find someone that respects you uh, and loves you for you. So that's what I can
Yes.
say most certainly. He's loved me, the good, bad, the ugly, because I'm not always the easiest to deal with. But he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go in my den or whatever. You let me
Oh,
know when but you know what I mean? So that's what I would say. I mean, really just respect is huge.
yeah,
And
it is.
I do
It
see a lot of people
is.
struggle with allowing themselves to be consistently disrespected by their partner. And
Yes.
I think that's your sign
Unacceptable.
right there. It's just unacceptable. That is your sign. Like, don't collect red flags when it happens. Just you gotta choose you
Yes.
until that person comes along.
I
So
love that. I
that's
love that. Choose you. Choose you. Don't allow
that's
other
right.
people to dictate who you are or how you're going to be treated. Recognize,
Absolutely.
recognize what is important for you. All
That's
right.
right.
I'm going to pull up your kids right now because they were in
Okay.
the fashion show as well. And your little daughter was just too sassy. Look at her.
um,
Too sassy. She was
and
just
I mean,
really.
and
Go
that's
ahead.
really she is a natural model. Like, I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
if you just her catwalk or just through the house,
Yes.
it's amazing. So I said, you know what? You're gonna get in this fashion show, young lady, because I want the world to see this walk that I see every day.
Yes. Oh, I'm telling you,
Mhm.
she exudes confidence. How
Oh,
old is
she's
she?
7.
7 years old. And this little girl,
Mhm.
she stood out. She has that factor.
She does. She does.
She really does. And in Los An in not Los Angeles, in Georgia, there's a friend of mine who actually has a modeling academy, and she
Oh,
works with little girls. I'll
oh,
connect
I
you
might
with
have to.
her. Yes,
Yes,
because
yes.
she's even doing working with kids in Africa. And
Oh my
she
goodness.
lives in Alabama right now, but she has a
Yeah.
studio, and she also the academy, and then she also has a modeling agency. So I'm
Oh,
going to connect you with her for your daughter.
okay.
Yes,
Okay.
and then we've
Now
got
my
your other
oldest was
daughter
not. She
here.
listen. Yes, that's Bina. That is the gymnast and the track star. She is a little more shy than little Ryan, but she's amazing. She's the one in the family that everyone says is wise beyond her years. So to have a
Wow,
conversation with her, it's like, and that's been since she was little. You have a
wow.
conversation with her, it's like you're talking to another adult. And that was the way that way when she was about 3 years old.
Oh my goodness. How old is she now?
13.
She's 13 and she's beautiful. Your children
Thank
are
you.
beautiful. And then
Thank
you've got a
you.
son.
Yes, yes. And he again a little more shy out, as far as modeling goes, but he's our
He
a
stepped
chef.
out.
So he is. But he's a chef, and I mean, like, he cooks like a chef. So
Wow.
he really does. His favorite meal to cook is lamb curry. And
Oh
I
my
mean, when I tell you
goodness.
restaurant grade,
How old
yes.
is he?
So 11.
Oh my. And you know what? I have to say this. You are doing what most parents need, what all parents need to do. You identify the gifts that your children have, and then you
Right,
allow them to work in those gifts.
right,
So many
right,
parents aren't even aware because they're
right.
not talking to their kids, they're not spending time with their children. And so you are the epitome of what parenting should look like.
Thank
That is,
you.
and
Oh, so this, but he sure is rough.
on
I get
top of all the stuff that you do, you still have that time with your kids to the point where you
Right.
recognize their
The
strengths,
oldest
their
is
talents,
missing.
and their abilities.
Yes. So the oldest is so she doesn't get mad at me, but she was out of town during the fashion show. But my oldest is 23 and she's married, but she has an agency just like me. So that's
Oh my
she's
gosh.
already, yeah. So she operates, she has her, her own individuals, and yeah, she completely operates her own
And she's
agency. She does
23
exactly
years
what I do.
old.
23, she got licensed at 22.
Oh my
Yeah, so it's been about a
goodness.
year. Hmm.
So you're raising little millionaires here.
Well, that is a very big part of my parenting style is definitely to talk to them about whatever it is they're good at, and let's monetize it. I mean, I don't see why not. Turn your passion into
Absolutely.
big.
That is beautiful. And I had told you I had a couple of commercials, but we've been so engrossed
Huh?
in this
Oh my
conversation.
goodness, I'm so sorry.
Um, oh no, it's don't apologize. Don't apologize. But I am going to play this one commercial before. Do you
Okay,
you know we're almost out of time, right?
I bet, and there's so many things getting covered. That's okay.
Mama Knows creates high quality products that are available to be used on multiple textures of hair. Her goal is to bridge the gap to stop people from having to use multiple products because of families with multiple hair types. Her products are currently being used on men, women, children of all ethnicities. Mama Knows products are available at www.mamaknowsproducts.com. That's www.mamaknowsproducts.com. You can also find her on Instagram at Mama Knows Products because Mama knows what you need.
Products. Let me tell you, these products are awesome. They smell great. They work great. They're shampoos, conditioners, moisturizers, and elixirs and gels, all kinds of things to help your hair be as healthy as
Mm,
it can be. So you want to check out
okay.
Mama Knows
Yeah.
products. Why? Because Mama knows what you need. So check her out. Mama Knows products. All right.
I can't hear.
You okay, hold on.
Right.
Let me come back. Okay, now can you
Oh.
hear? Can you
Hmm.
hear now?
Uh-oh.
Can you hear now?
Uh, I can't hear.
Oh.
There we
Oh,
go. Okay. Got
can
it.
you hear me now?
I can hear.
Oh,
Sorry about that.
okay. All right. Now I'm going to pull up your information again so people know how to get in touch with you.
Okay.
And I want to encourage, listen, if you want to start a business, you need to see Crystal. If you have needs that need to be addressed as it relates to disabilities or senior care or veterans, you want to check out Crystal. So you want to contact
Thank you.
Crystal, and let me put her information. I'm going to also put it in the chat so that after this show, you will still be able to get in touch with her. And the thing is, let me copy this. Now, you can do a couple things. You can book her to speak, or you can book her to be your coach, or you can book her to help you with your business. And you would go to
Absolutely.
ft.crystalsmith.online. Now, if you want more information about the infinityempire.com, is that a part of the Citco?
That it is. It's one. It's the sister company. So that's where potential clients or their families who want to learn about our company go, and they can leave their information so we can follow up.
Okay, and I have it in the comments. So even after this show, you'll be able to see, and with the replays, they'll be able to see as well.
Mhm.
This has been such an honor to have you on my show
Thank
today.
you.
And I
Thank
am going
you.
to give you the floor to share whatever you want to share and to impart on our audience before we leave.
Again, I just want to thank you for having me on. And, I really just want to say that my mission is to help people turn their purpose into profit, because I think that's just something that's really missing from people in general, from single mothers, our youth, uh, families, and
Yes.
so that's something that I'm very passionate about. Helping or start the process of generating generational wealth. So, I'd love to hear from you. Uh, we put the website in the comments, and yeah, just saying, feel free to follow me, follow what we didn't get to talk about my podcast, but the
Oh,
podcast
well,
is Care to
let's talk
CEO.
about that.
That's okay. I mean, it's yeah, it's something that I really started to really be able to share my lived experiences with people, especially people from the healthcare world, but you don't have to be from the healthcare world. And just, just a place where we can talk about growth, not only in this industry, but just as women in business, or people of color, or just really anyone. I mean, anyone can get something out of it, I would say. So I'm on YouTube, I'm on Apple Music, Spotify, and you can follow me on Facebook. Um, just at Crystal Smith. And yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And let me put in the chat um, what the name of your podcast is.
Care to
Uh,
CEO. You can just go to
Care.
caretoceo.com. Yep. www.caretoceo.com, and all the platforms it's on will be there.
Oh, wow. Okay. Awesome. Care to CEO.
Mm. Yes.
Awesome. All right. Well,
Mhm.
listen, it has been a pleasure having you on my show.
You
And
too.
I just, God bless you and everything that you're
You.
doing. And I'm looking forward to a continued connection with you. I really
Absolutely.
am.
I really
I
am as
really
well.
am.
Seriously. I mean, we're right
Okay.
here in the same city, so we're going to stay connected.
Yes,
Thank
we
you so
are.
much.
And so I'm going to close us out, but if you would just hold on, don't
Okay.
leave. Okay. I know you want to go
Mm.
to dinner, so I'll make it
It's
quick.
okay.
All
Okay.
right. Listen, audience, get in touch with her. Okay. She is all about wealth building and generational wealth, not just talking about it, but she's living it. She's doing it with her children and with everyone else. And so just stay in touch with her and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And we will see you next Tuesday. So God bless. Bye bye.
The